Looking at Chapter 7, Section 1, only on page 198, the section is labeled Daily Life in Athens. Looking only at what life was like for a young boy in Athens. So initially, you expect a kid who's going to get up in the morning. His bed is not what you would expect, probably. Your normal bed, it says in our text, is a hard bed. It doesn't mean like an extra firm bed, or, oh, I can't believe I have to sleep on this hard, fluffy thing. No, this kid is probably sleeping on what you would consider a bench. It's a wooden bench that he's got. Maybe if he's lucky, he's got a wool fleece or a couple of blankets thrown down there to make it a little bit softer, but he's pretty much just on a wooden bench. And then he gets his breakfast together, quick little, maybe some bread, possibly some cheese, and he's off to school. This kid's wearing probably a tunic, which is just a piece of cloth thrown over his head, and wrapped around at the waist was a piece of rope or some twine. And if it's cold that day, he's going to be wearing a cloak. It was really difficult to figure out how to make sleeves for a long, long time. So in ancient Athens, we're talking 2,500 years ago, it was not easy to make sleeves, so they didn't have coats generally. It was going to be just a cloak, a blanket that they threw over their shoulders and held in front of their neck. Maybe they would have a pin to hold on to it with. It was just really simple, something to keep them warm. He's on his way to school. He probably meets up with some buddies, and they're going to talk about their lessons most recently. They might compare their notes on their tablets. And a tablet, sorry, no iPad, no Surface tablet. We're looking at a piece of wood with some beeswax just spread on it that they can carve out a little bit on that wax, and then they can talk about that as they go, and probably some history, things that are going on in the public life right then. But they're just going to talk about it as they go. When they get done with that particular lesson, they can remove that beeswax, either scrape it off or maybe just melt it back down so that all of their writing just kind of goes away. After school, what a lot of the boys were pretty happy with was after their time out in public with their teacher, they're going to go down to the training grounds, and there were plenty of people already there who were training for the Olympics, training for battle. But these young kids, boys about your age, 12, 13, 14, were probably just learning some of those sports, particularly wrestling, running, and throwing a discus. Our vocabulary word in the bottom of this section is Athens. Athens was a city-state in ancient Greece. You can see in our picture, the city of Athens, your reminder, that center big flat-topped hill was called the Acropolis, and on the Acropolis was the Parthenon. And then the rest of the city was down around the outside. Remember that Pericles was the one who convinced people that they shouldn't try to maintain their city on top of the Acropolis. They should move most of the people down onto the lower level and keep the Acropolis as the main part just for temples and public space.